Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Mastering Your Lead Generation, with your MAPS coach, Richard Schulman. Please note that this webinar is being recorded, and you will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have any questions for your coach, you can type them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. Our coach will be joining us in just a minute or so, so we appreciate everybody's patience, and we will be back on in just 1 minute. Thank you so much, everybody, for waiting. Your coach is joining us now, and we'll be on in just 1 moment.
Hey, Holly.
Yes, we're on. We're live.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, they had me on back-to-back webinars this morning, and I'm here now. Welcome, everyone. Holly, ready to go, right?
Yep, we're ready to go.
Okay, welcome and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the MAPS Marathon Lead Generation in a Shifting Market call. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Richard Schulman. I'm your MAPS coach. I've been doing this call for quite some time now, and it is always my excitement and honor to do it. As you guys know, or if you don't know, you will soon learn, lead generation and lead conversion are absolutely the core of our business. Something that I promise you is that when you learn and master this skill, your business will change dramatically. There is nothing else that you need to learn and master as much as lead generation and conversion. Everything else becomes easier or unnecessary. You can have a very average listing appointment presentation. You can have a very average buyer meeting presentation. When you show up to more and more and more appointments, you will get more of them just by virtue of being there, and you will get better at doing them, right? So nothing else matters in your business as learning how to do these two skills. Let's define these two skills just so we're on the same page. What is lead generation? Lead generation is finding people and putting them into your database. That means I go out in the world somewhere, I meet someone, I get their information, and I set a plan to follow up with them. That is lead generation. So we can generate leads everywhere, right? Our sphere of influence, open houses, door knocking, cold calling, circle dialing, expireds, FISBOs, Facebook, anything, anywhere you can meet someone, you can generate a lead out of them. Some of my first deals were my dentist's son, the tree trimmer from my parents' house, right? Lots of ways that you can generate leads. People are everywhere, right? That's the easy part. The tricky part is converting them into an appointment, right? Our ultimate goal, our next step with anyone that we meet is to have an appointment with them, preferably a business appointment. It sounds like you're interested in buying a home. We should meet at my office. Is Thursday or Friday better? But if not, we'd like to have a social engagement with them, okay? Social engagement is a face-to-face meeting where two people are becoming closer, better friends, and one day when there is business to be had, people will hire people they trust. We know that for a fact. So let's jump right in. Who am I? Richard Schulman. I've been at KW for 12 years. I attend as much training, I believe, as just about anyone in the company. I do family reunion, mega camp. I go to 3 or 4 different masterminds every year. CV. I've taken just about every class that KW has to offer. It's hard because they offer more and more, and they're fantastic. As I have taken more classes, I promise you this, the more classes I've taken, the more classes that you will take, the better your business will do, and the less you will have to work on that business to keep the same level of success, right? So one of the things that I talk about in my training is I'm not going to ask you to work harder as long as you're already putting in a sufficient volume of work. I am going to ask you and demand of you that you work smarter, right? Key concept. The trick is not more volume of work, it's more quality of work. So when we upgrade our skills, when we take our skills and make them better, we get more productivity out of the same amount of time. Of course, if you want to work more and get more productivity, that's certainly fine too. In the last 15 years in real estate, most of them at KW. I've sold over 1,500 homes for $750 million in sales. I'm here in the Los Angeles area, so we have a nice price point. Right now, we have about 15 people on the team, 125 people in the profit share. Here are some other businesses that I'm in. Why do I mention that? Why do I mention these other things that I do? I want to reinforce the point that all of those businesses, right, everything from my sales business to the staff who works for me who are not in sales, to the salespeople who work for me, to the rental properties I buy or other opportunities that I have or create for myself, all come from lead generation and conversion, right? No one is going to call you and say, here's an opportunity without you having reached out first to them, right? Even to have my own MAPS call, which is a huge honor for me, I had to call and email and pitch this class to several people at MAPS before it got picked up, right? So the idea being that everything that you want in your world requires you to generate and convert leads, right? You need to find people to talk to and set business appointments with them. The converse of that, of course, is that all of these things stop without lead generation and conversion. Every time that you stop generating leads, every time you stop converting leads, your business will slow. Now, you may not see it tomorrow, but you will see it soon in the future. In real estate, we typically say that we're working a 90-day cycle. So when you stop working today, when you stop lead generating today, in 60, 90, 120 days, your business will take a dip, right? So we want to build a system and a business where we are constantly generating and converting leads. That was a happy moment for me. Who else asked me about lead generation? There I am with Gary, Mark, and Anna on stage at Mega Camp last year. I held a pen in my hand and waved it around the entire time. You can kind of see the picture there for no apparent reason. If you are interested, you can check out the video on KW Connect. But we talked about the exact same things that we're going to talk about in this class in a much briefer format on stage, of course. But there you go. We are going to be talking about the same stuff that Gary thinks is very important. Now, I'm going to give you a few challenges and a few activities. It is my intention and promise to give you some value for your time on this call. I think just simply thinking about the idea of what lead generation is and what lead conversion is will change the way you approach your business. And one of the things I think you'll learn in this call and throughout the rest of the Marathon Lead Generation program is that we are going to hyper-focus on what is effectively a very narrow part of our business, right? Picking up the phone and calling people to set simple appointments is a relatively simple process. And the idea is, remember, that we're going to absolutely master this inside and out. Because if we can set a few more appointments every week, which means dozens and hundreds more per year, we're going to explode our goals. Okay, here's your challenge. Write this down. We're going to take some notes today and in the class. I'd like for you to track your calls. It's 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It's noon East. You have time today to make your phone calls. If you're listening to this on replay, then you can pick it up later in the day. What I'd like for you to do is sit down for 1 hour, one really prepared hour, right? Have your phone numbers ready, your phone ready, your coffee, your snack, no distractions, right? If you watched the NCAA tournament this past weekend, this is your tournament game, right? Nothing else matters except for this next 60 minutes. There are no distractions, right? You are fully focused on the game. Sit down and make 20 to 25 dials in that hour. It's very tough to do, and a lot of people struggle to do it. The numbers I see most commonly are between 12 and 16. What I want to show you is making a higher number of dials is very possible, very easy with a system. That will increase the number of appointments you make per hour and decrease the amount of hours that you need to work. Now, if you're using an auto dialer, which I know a lot of you are, and if you are not, then you should be, these numbers will seem small, but we still need to work on how do we improve our conversion and how do we keep our phone calls short, right? We're not looking to have long appointments on the phone. Now, originally, we taught this class live several years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago. We taught this as a live class. It was called a human auto dialer, right? This was when auto dialers were a very exotic technology that only a few mega teams had. Now, I think they're fairly pervasive, and I think if you're thinking, you know, do I need an auto dialer for my business? Absolutely, yes. It will increase the number of dials you make by more than 2x. It will decrease your call latency. It will decrease your lag time, and it will absolutely increase your productivity. Everyone on my team fights back against it at first, and within a few weeks of actually doing it and trying it, they're onto the triple line dialers, right? So don't worry about the triple line dialers yet if you're not using them. Just start with a single line dialer. What I want you to think about, and really think about this, when you sit down for calls, you have a limited amount of peak energy that you can use for your calls. That's why Gary, Maps, everyone in sales training says you should be making your outbound dials first thing in the morning. Why? You have peak energy first thing in the morning, and you want to maximize this peak energy, right? Think about if you were to go at 6 o'clock to make phone calls. Yes, people will pick up. Yes, you may have good energy. Do any of you have your peak energy at that time, right? So what I want you to do is think that fewer calls per hour is stealing money from yourself, right? If you're talking about I want to work a certain number of hours or I don't want to work more than a certain number of hours, then what we need to do is make those hours count. So don't worry, we still have more. If you're interested in the webinar, it's starting April 12th. You can sign up there at Marathon Conversion. Now let's go over a real-world example. What I want to do is talk to you about what happened to the Schulman team. At the end of 17, about half the sales team left or was asked to leave. The sales manager left or was asked to leave. And what happened? We tore apart everything we did. We redid all of our systems. We redid all of our models. We updated our scripting. We changed everything that we do. And last year we had our best year ever. We had $138 million in sales as a team with only one of our top agents returning as an agent, right? Everything that we teach in this class is exactly what we do on the Schulman team. In fact, if you join my team, the first thing I have you do is watch a replay of the most recent marathon lead gen or watch the current one live, right? So everything's the same that we do. So the first thing we're going to do is teach you how to make 5,000 more dials per year, right? We're going to make 10 more calls per hour, right? If you're making 15 now, we're going to get you to 25. We may even get you to 65 on a single line dialer. And you're required to do 2 hours of lead generation every day, 5 days a week. So in my world, you need to do 10 hours of outbound dials every week. If you can do that in 2 days, great. If you need all 5 to do it, that's fine too. All right, how are we going to do a better job on the phone, right? How are we going to improve our conversion? So here we go. We're going to start learning something. We had a training on my team yesterday. We were working on individual value proposition, which is something we cover in the marathon class. And what we talked about with our own coach, we have a coach on the team as well. And what our own coach, training manager, sales manager said to us was, the words are important, but what's very, very, very important, far more important than the words, is how you deliver the words. How are you delivering the words to your phone call, right? I'm standing up right now. I'm pacing, but I've blocked myself off into the corner because otherwise I'd pace around the room and you couldn't hear me. I'm excited to be on the call. You're hearing confidence and projection in my voice, and hopefully you're appreciating, at least consciously or subconsciously, that that's changing your opinion of me and the words that I'm saying, right? When you make your phone calls, you need to call your clients with a level of enthusiasm, a level of confidence that you know what you're doing. You are the expert, and you have something interesting for them. If you are not calling with that attitude and that mindset and that projection, then they are going to receive your calls less warmly, right? That makes sense, everyone? So why aren't we doing it, right? I don't think any of you would disagree with that previous slide. I don't think any of you would say that you've learned that new. You may think about it a different way now. Why are we not doing that? We're not doing that because in general we don't have goals for every call. Who here legitimately has goals for every call, or who here could tell me in detail what their goals are for this year, right? It's very important that you understand what your goals are for each call and your goals are for the year, because it's March, it's still early in the year. It's sometimes hard to get up for your goals, especially in a shifting market, a slowing market. You have a big goal for the year, and you're probably not that close to your goal, right? It's March. At best, you're maybe a third of the way to your goal. How do you stay up day in, day out for that? You need to be absolutely tied into your per call goal, your per week goal, your per month goal, and your annual goal. So what I did, I figured this out a long time ago. I've been doing this for over 10 years. The first thing I did was I figured out how much money I wanted to make this year. I figured out how many phone calls I'd be making. That's called simple business planning, right? How many phone calls would I be making? how much money would I want to make, divide those two numbers, and I'd come up with, well, every phone call I make is worth some number of dollars to me. And if you do the math, a lot of you will find numbers like $8 or $16, $30, $40, $50. Those are general numbers I hear per call. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but if you're making 50 dials per day, 250 dials a week, $8 per call gets you to a $100,000 take-home salary, right? So if you're making less than that, real estate is probably not the best choice for you, right? Real estate is a job where you deserve and need to be making more than that. The amount of effort that you put in, the investment you make, the style of commission pay, the difficulties, we'll call them, you encounter with people, agents, and clients, right? So you need to be making more than $100,000 a year to be in real estate. So that's $8 a call. You want to make $200,000 a year. That's $16 for every dial you make. Think about that. I decided I didn't like those numbers, and I just made up a number. I have no mathematical basis for this. I just decided I want to make $100 every time I pick up the phone. Guess what? If I'm behind on my calls for the day, it's very easy to pick up the phone and think, I'm going to knock out 7 more calls today, make $700 and go home, right? Now, of course, you don't get a check when you walk out of the office. You might get that check in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. But I want you to be thinking, every call I make is worth X dollars to me. I want you to write that down, print it out, and tape it somewhere you can see it, right? I guarantee you the next time that you are stuck on 45 calls and you get 50 calls and you think those next 5 calls are worth $200 to you, will make it easier to pick up the phone, right? Now, what's the point of a phone call, right? Now, we don't want to dial just for dial's sake. We want to dial for purpose, right? What is the point of a phone call? The point of a phone call is to make an appointment. Now, if I asked all of you individually, I'm sure 100% of you would tell me that you knew that absolutely. And I'm sure that if I came to all of your offices, I'm sure that 100% of you would sit there today and have appointments on the phone. What's an appointment on the phone? An appointment on the phone is when you call someone and you answer all of their real estate questions over the phone, right? The point of a phone call is to make an appointment. When I call you and you say, I have questions about the market, I say, great. I would love to sit down with you and talk to you more about that, right? We are not making calls to have appointments on the phone. We are making calls so that we can set appointments with people, right? You guys have heard from Gary, Expedia example, the Netflix example. We will be taken out of the business. If we're just going to have phone appointments and avoid meeting people face-to-face, we will be out of the business. Gary says that we need 11 face-to-face appointments every week. That is a very big number to set. That is a lot of appointments. That will take you 20 hours a week. So when you pick up the phone today, tomorrow, the next day, we are not going to be having appointments over the phone. We're going to be setting appointments on the phone. That is our job. Now, I'll take a quick question break. There's a question tab on the right side. We have limited time today with the webinar format. During the regular full format call, we answer every single question that comes in. 10 or 11 times through, we've never missed a question. Questions on auto dialers. We use the Mojo auto dialer. I don't necessarily recommend or not recommend it. It's totally fine and adequate. Other people use other ones that are good too. They have a single and triple line dialer, and we enjoy those, but there's many good dialer products on the market. All right, let's jump in. Let's talk about scripting. Again, if you're happy so far, we'd love to have you join on the webinar, marathonconversion.com. We start in a couple weeks on Friday, and it's me yelling into the phone and answering your questions. It's quite enjoyable. We have a lot of content to cover, and you will learn a tremendous amount. There we go, new scripting. So let's talk about new scripting. Now, we're in a shifting market. I think we'd all agree to that. I don't know if anyone would disagree that we're in a shifting market. The new scripting is what I call directed scripting. It's tell, don't ask. What I don't want you doing is asking people for appointments. I don't want you being the subservient one in the conversation. I don't want you calling and begging for business, right? I always liken it to a doctor or lawyer, an accountant. It's very hard to get your doctor, lawyer, and accountant on the phone, correct? Yes. And you beg for their time and you arrange your schedule around their time. How can we change the dynamic of our business so that we're treated like that? So that people are glad to get us on the phone, right? I believe this, and I hope that you believe this too, that any of my clients are lucky to sit down and meet with me or one of my agents, because I know for a fact that we are the best agents in the market. We are the most trained, the most diligent, the most ethical, and we seek to get the best results for our clients. So I know that for our clients, it is fortunate for them they get to meet us. Think about your business. Think about making it like that for your business. How can you make it so that your clients feel fortunate to work with you? The first thing you can do is treat yourself like the expert, right? Now, on our team, our standard format is to get a new lead and do a buyer meeting, right? We have a one free look policy, which we'll go into further during the call, but the overwhelming priority for us is to get a sit-down face-to-face buyer-broker meeting or a sit-down face-to-face listing appointment with the potential buyer or seller, right? I do not have the buyer meetings, my team does not have buyer meetings without a pre-approval, and we don't tour homes, plural, without a pre-approval and a signed buyer-broker agreement. So when I talk to someone on the phone, instead of saying, please come meet with me, or I'll be happy to show you properties anytime you want, and meet with you whenever you want, and don't worry about the approval, I'm sure you can get approved, you just told me you could. What I tell them is first speak to the lender and get pre-approved, then I will meet with you, and then we can tour homes. We are taking charge of the conversation, and we are telling the client what to do. And the amazing thing about that is, the simple amazing thing about that is that most people are looking for your advice. That we've decided that we are the desperate ones, that we need them more than they need us, and we let them push us around. If you want to work with me, this is how we work. And most people, when you tell them this is how the process goes, are very happy to follow along with your process. Here's the exact same tell, don't ask script for a seller. The best thing for me to do is come to your home and give you a personalized evaluation is Tuesday or Wednesday better. No, I will not tell you the price over the phone. I need to come see the house. The best thing for me to do is come to your home and give you a personalized evaluation. Is Tuesday or Wednesday better? Now, we get real deep on these scripts because what I don't want to do is I'm not going to teach you 100 different scripts. I'm not going to teach you a FSBO script, an open house script, a door knock, a cold call, a social script. I am going to teach you how to think about your scripts so that you can use the same scripts for all situations, right? Now, in this scenario here, for example, what I want you to see is I'm not asking them if they want to have an appointment. I'm not asking them if they would please meet with me. I am telling them that if they want a valuation for their home or more information about selling their home, then we need to meet at their house. And the question I'm asking, the key part of this, the question I'm asking is Tuesday or Wednesday better. I'm not asking them to meet with me. I'm asking them which day is better. It's a key difference in this process. Question from Colleen. When you make calls, what if people tell you they don't want to buy or sell their home right now? Colleen, is an excellent question. Depending on who they are, I will ask them to meet for coffee, lunch, or something social to maintain our relationship and friendship, or alternatively, I will make an appointment to speak with them later. So I will say, well, Colleen, it sounds like it's not the best time, or if you want to look for a home in the fall, could I give you a call back in a month or two, right? I'm making an appointment to call them back. We're not going to do a buyer meeting for someone who's not ready to buy. We want to do a seller meeting for someone not ready to sell. And what I want to teach you through this class is that I don't want you to work on low quality, low interest, low motivation leads. It's not fair to you, it's not fair to them, and it's not fair to your actual motivated clients who need your time, right? Tell, don't ask. Again, so we'll take a look at that house, and I can show you a couple more right afterwards, which time is best for you, right? Again, the question is, what time is best? Not do you want to see more houses, not do you want to tour homes. I am simply telling you what's going to happen, right? When you take this tone, this attitude, this approach with your clients, you will notice a tremendous difference, right? How do you do this? Write these scripts down, put them in front of your desk when you make your calls, and start using them. It's that simple. If you're not writing them down and not putting them in front of your face while you call, you cannot learn to use them. Now, we're going to be covering a lot of shifting scripts, right? So we rewrote the class last time, and this time we rewrote the class to cover a shifting market, right? Your approach, your scripting shifts in a shifting market as well. Now, ask this question today to 25 people. Write this one down. Use this script. If the script works, come take the class. If it doesn't work, call me. We're going to figure out what's going on. I have not had any failure yet with this script. The script is, if I could show you opportunity in today's market, would you be able to meet tomorrow or Friday? You can use this at an open house. You can use this door knocking. You can use this cold calling. You can use this calling FSBOs, expired, talking to your friends on Facebook, talking to your friends at a party. You can use this script wherever. You may customize it for the exact scenario, but you could use it. If you are working in a market that is shifting or shifted, you have opportunity. You have the opportunity to buy a home for less than what it would have sold for 6 months ago. You have the opportunity to buy a home when there's one other offer, not 8 other offers, right? So find something that's actual opportunity and call your clients and tell them, I have opportunity. Do you have time to meet? Now, we sell investment properties here. We have a whole training on investment properties for you. And one of my agents is done a $1.6 million, $800,000 deal, just picking up the phone and calling people and telling them he has a great deal on investment property, a great investment opportunity. Do you know how many people pick up the phone and talk to you when they hear great opportunity? They all do, right? So let me go over a couple questions, or one more question, I guess. Do you think saying text works? Yeah, we do a lot of text messaging, and in the class we have a whole system for how we do our text messaging. So just in today's 30-minute format, there's a limit on what we can cover. But yeah, we do a lot of texting, email, phone calls. We have a robust way to contact your potential clients. Let me walk you through what's involved with the class. The first thing we're going to be doing is drastically increasing your outbound call volume. My top agents made over 15,000 outbound dials last year. That's not even enough. I think people should be making 20,000, 25,000 outbound dials a year. Not a lot at all, especially if you're on a triple line. We've been doing more triple line dialing, and my agents are easily hitting 300 dials a day on the triple line dialer. 2 hours on the phone on triple line, 300 dials. That's 1,500 a week. If we kept that up, that'd be in the 60,000, 70,000 range for the year. Do you think we can do business that way? Absolutely. We're doing a lot of habit building. I'm very big into habit building. One thing, the power of habit, atomic habits, this is all habit building, right? Everything that we're doing right now is a habit. We need to learn how to do these habits. We need to learn how to habituate these behaviors. So we're going to work a lot on not just teaching you what to do, but on how to actually implement what we're learning. I'm very big, as I mentioned before. I'm not interested in wasting time on poor leads. I'm also not interested in wasting leads with poor follow-up. And like I said earlier, everything that we do, all the scripts, all the training, all the systems, everything that we do is the same that my team does. My team did 184 transactions for $138 million last year here in the LA area. The webinar is Friday, April 12th. There are 5 one-hour webinars. There's a lot of recorded material you'll be given access to. There's a lot of printed material you'll be given access to. We answer all the questions, and we take care of any challenges that you have. It's been one of the best reviewed MAPS classes. I'm very proud of it. I hope that you've enjoyed the call today, and I hope that I see you on the webinar. You can sign up at the web link marathonconversion.com. MAPS will be sending out a review of this. If you missed any of the slides or want to start using those scripts, we will send out a replay of this later today. So please take a look at that. There's a lot of good material in here. Also, if you know anyone else who'd be interested, we would really appreciate if you forward that to someone else too. So we'd love to have you on the call. It's marathonconversion.com. It's 5 one-hour webinars plus a ton of recorded material, and I guarantee that you're going to have a great time and learn a lot on there. So thanks a lot. If you have any questions, my email is schulmanrd@gmail.com. That's schulmanrd@gmail.com, or you can just reply to the MAPS email, and they'll get it over to me. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks on the call.